Welcome, 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 welcome. We're gonna we're gonna get started here. Welcome to 11/11. Portal. Today is January 11th, and this is a day where alignment happens. This is a day where we get to be aligned. We're aligned, and some people have been doing the work, and some people, just starting to do the work, and today that's the day is we're going to be aligned together, and we're going to go over a couple details. And you know uh today I walked outside, and there was four blue jays out there, and they literally just flew over my head and landed in a tree and stayed in the tree. And it was almost like they were watching me, uh and just stood there for a while. And I actually recognized that the four means this is alignment. This is a sign from my ancestors that I'm in alignment. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. I'm not far from perfect. In fact, part of alignment just means that you recognize that you're not perfect. You recognize it, so you actually can look at it without shame, and you can start plugging up the holes. So today is this 11/1. It's January 11th, the portal. This is energy day. Maybe you don't believe in all this stuff, and you don't understand all this stuff, but it's real. It's super real. you know uh there's one of the things that, when earlier last spring, as I started eating a lot of fruits, these solar things I started to really understand how important they are. And if you've never heard of the Schumann resonance, and I hadn't heard it till this year, if you haven't heard of this magnetic field that is the heartbeat of the earth, I had never heard of that. I thought that was all weird stuff. But why is it weird? If I was to ask you, if you were to find out tomorrow that the earth is a living being, and it actually is conscious, and it has a heartbeat, and it has blood, and it's pumping blood, and it's alive, would that change your philosophy of life? I would kind of hope so. Because if you would think about this world being alive and living and here, would make you discover yourself in the overall world at all? Because to me, that's been how this whole kind of journey has begun to be. I've come to understand that this world is alive, and it has a heartbeat, and it's called the Schumann resonance, and it's been here for ever since the world has been designed, whenever it was designed, and it beats. And there is a cycle, and there is times with it, and seasons, and there's different, gravitational pulls that do certain things. And the way humans react to the heartbeat of this earth is very important, not only to us, but to the earth, because it's part of our job to protect the earth. The earth needs us, kind of like we need inside of our body. We need certain cells to take care of us. And if we neglect our cells, which we do, which we have, then we die. Well, the earth is the same way. And the earth is starting to wake up as well. She's been asleep as well. She's been polluted, and she's waking up, and she's recognizing that there's too much. And it's almost like she's shaking the fleas off her. Now, that might seem weird to you. I don't know. What's weirder to me is the fact that we can't do the math on this. When this body goes away, this soil suit, which I call it, goes away, where does it go? It goes to the earth. It falls literally, it becomes dust to this earth. When we're created from matter, from this earth, all of us. Even if you're a Christian, you believe that you come from the earth. So we are, genetically related to the earth. Why we can't call her Mother Earth, I don't know. Why that sounds so weird. Like, it's not taking away from anything. She is, to me, she is my mother. She is where my DNA comes from. Most of my, that's why when I eat fruits, it's coming from the same place. And so today is a portal day. It's 11/11, and there's a portal happening right now, and it's opening up. And I want to talk a little bit about, I actually even heard it over and like all the stuff that's happening in Venezuela, and I'm not in the political part of all that. But what I did hear is that Venezuela actually has some big, massive portals in it that they know about. There's these little portals in Venezuela that has been ancient. And, if you don't understand portals, like start to look into it a little bit. There are portals. There are beings that go back and forth. There are entities that go back and forth. There, and if you doubt that, look into CERN. Why is all of our governments together in the base of the Earth in Switzerland putting together what they call trying to find the God particle and create a wormhole? Because they know they exist. They wouldn't be putting together, like literally, probably at this point, hundreds of billions and maybe even trillions of dollars and trying to recreate something if they didn't think it already existed, if there was no way for it to actually exist. Just Google CERN. Just look into it, and you're going to find out that this stuff I'm talking about, it's out there already. And so what do we do with that? How do we use that to our advantage? Well, these portals, they have different, powers. And I think it's interesting right now that we're coming into a time in 2026 where I think things are starting to centralize into the area. Like you're going to start to notice that last year was an exposed year. A lot of things got exposed last year. Last year is nothing compared to what 2026 is going to be. We're kind of getting used to things getting exposed. We're kind of, okay, things are getting exposed. We're okay to that. This year, it's going to accelerate even more. And I'm trying to prepare people. I'm trying to let people know, like, man, something is coming 2026. And your soul knows it. My soul knows it. But there's a lot of people that have no freaking clue. And they're feeling it. The Schumann resonance, if I watched that, I watched it a lot. And what that does, the Schumann resonance, I actually got to plug in my computer here. So what the Schumann resonance will do is it will actually, inside the Earth, it actually pulls all the, the lightning that's hitting in the Earth and all the different solar flares that's hitting Earth and all the matter that's hitting Earth. And it spikes. It creates these spikes. And what they're noticing, if you start to watch it, it's just there's a lot more consistent spike. And the hertz it's not these huge blasts that are what's doing it. It's the consistency. It's consistently higher all the time. And so it's gently moving the frequency of the Earth. And now you might think, frequency, it's a little frequency. They have these, NASA knows that. They know that when the astronauts go out into outer space, they have to prepare, because once they get out of our atmosphere, their bodies start to die right away because they don't have the hertz. They actually have to try to recreate that. And so we have this hertz, and I think it's 7.83, and it's the same thing in our body. So, we want to make sure that our body's growing with this hertz. So I want to do a podcast that's going to help people grow with the Earth, help to sync up with her. We're going to talk about fascia. We're going to talk about the endocannabinoid system. We're going to talk about, relationships and parenting. We're going to talk about this energy a lot and how to deal with this energy and what is the best ways to deal with this energy. And, I've basically, over the last year, I've used myself as a guinea pig, a literal guinea pig, on different diets, different techniques, different ways to eat, and I've learned some really amazing things that, I sleep very good. I have a ton of energy. My body's in very good shape. I don't have to go to the gym to have a six pack and to have really pretty defined body parts of my body, and I'm not lacking, food. I have a weight that I stay. It's very consistent for me. And I do a different type of diet than I've ever met whoever has done any type of diet, because there's a way to work with this energy. And for some reason, my soul has remembered with the fruit thing, and I've learned from some other people on here. I'm still learning, but we're going to learn a lot about that. The podcast is going to be called Nailed It. And I'm hoping, we can invite people, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, it's called Nailed It. Subscribe, share it, if you could, let people know about it. It's not about me. I'm not trying to sell any products on here. I don't have any, I have people that I want to collaborate with. I want to have a place where I can bring them on here. I feel like a place like this is going to be the most beneficial place where we can do this. I already have some people that are over in Florida that want to do this, that want to collab with us. Some people out there, like I said, and they've worked in Hollywood, but they're out in Canada now. And then Ryan, my good friend, he's one of the most powerful fruit eaters I've ever met. Like, he knows his stuff, like, unbelievable. So this is the year, guys. I just want to get us together. I just want us to know where we're going and move together, have fun, eat a lot of fruit and grow together. So I'll be announcing more and more of what this podcast is going to be. Again, it's going to be called Nailed It. And so share it with people, let people know about it. We're going to be bringing in, we're also going to be bringing in, family members. I want you guys to meet some of my family members a little bit. So we're going to be bringing all that in a little bit with that. So outside of that, I appreciate Nicole. She's helped a ton with the arithmetic groups that we have. And just go out there and eat some fruit.